Started.
ॐ यो मा आग्ने भागिनगुं सन्तमथा भागं चिकीर्षति अभागमग्ने तङ्कुरु मामग्ने भागिनं कुरु नमो ब्रह्मणे धारणं मे अस्त्वनिराकरणं धारयिता भूयासं कर्णयो श्रुतं माच्योढ्वं ममामुष्य ॐ सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय बिन्दुनादान्तरात्मने आदिमध्यान्तशून्याय गुरूणां गुरवे नमः. Namaskaram to everybody. Welcome to the continuation of Rudradhyaya. So I think this is going to be the last week where you all will be asked to work on a different time. I'm so sorry. When next week onwards, it will be back to yeah, the regular time. So we were in the second Anuvaka. We have just begun the explanation of the second Anuvaka, that is Namo Hiranyabhave Senanye Dishanchapataye Namaha. I think we have observed how Parameshwara is called as Hiranyabhave. Uh, what is the thing, or why Parameshwara is called as Hiranyabhave was was observed by us. Hiranyabahu is an Upalakshanam. By calling Parameshwara as Hiranyabahu, they mean that he is entirely Hiranyam, only Hiranyam, Swarnamayaha. Hiranyarupaya, Hiranyapataye, Ambikapataye. So we discussed that. So this is a way of approach that is usually followed not only in Vedas, in fact, even in our regular usage as well. We tend to follow this kind of a procedure where we mention only one important thing. Take for example, the same idea is expressed in Sahasra Shirusha Purushaha Sahasrakshaha Sahasrapat. So when they say Sahasrakshaha, Sahasrapat, and Sahasrashirsha, it doesn't mean that only these specific organs are in thousands. That is not the intention. The intention is to indicate that Tattva is Vishwa Vyapakam. It is Vyapakam Tattvam. So in order to indicate that, they have mentioned a few. Sahasrashirusha, Sahasrakshaha, Sahasrapat. So in Kannada, and sometimes we say that I don't know how it works in other languages, but in Kannada it works beautifully because I've grown up listening and talking that language, so it is easy for me to mention an example in that language. See, there are different levels of kobbu, or ego, or that kind of audacity to mention. At times, they say that ತಲೆಯೆಲ್ಲ ಹರಡ್ತಾನೆ. So what do you mean ತಲೆಯೆಲ್ಲ ಹರಡ್ತಾನೆ? It doesn't mean that you can speak all your mind or all your brain. And the literal translation of that phrase is ತಲೆಯೆಲ್ಲ ಹರಡ್ತಾನೆ, means to speak all your mind or all your brain, which is impossible. But those who are native speakers, they understand what exactly they are meaning. So similarly, they will say ಮೈಯೆಲ್ಲ ಕೊಬ್ಬು, Mayalla Poguru. So there is something like that when they say. So even that indicates the same thing. It means that when they say he is full of ego. So similarly, either they may mention only one part, or they may end up mentioning the whole body as well. So similarly here as well, when they said Hiranya Bahave, it's not just only the Bahu, only the shoulders are made of Hiranya, the rest is not Hiranya. That is not the idea. The idea is Hiranya Bahave means he is Hiranyam. Okay, he is Hiranya Rupa. Namo Hiranya Bahave, Senanya, he is the Senani, the one who actually takes everything forward, not just the Sena. Okay, so now we understand why the Devatas, when the Tarakasura was at his peak, why did the Devatas approach Parameshwara to get a Devasena Adhipati? Because only Parameshwara, the original Senani, the original Senadhipati, could produce another Senadhipati. So Skanda or Shanmukha or Subramanya is considered as the Senadhipati. He is Senani as well. So this Senani is a is a continuation of Parameshwara Shakti only. Therefore, Senanye Namaha. Namo Hiranyabhave Senanye, and then Dishancha Pataye Namaha. So how he is Dishampatihi. Dik is, all the directions how he is Dishampatihi is understood. Now, another interesting thing, I was just going through this as I was preparing for today's lecture. I was wondering that if we just observe, there are 13 mantras overall in this second Anuvaka, 13 Rik or 13 Yajus, as we call. For example, Namo Hiranyabhave Senanye Dishanchapataye Namaha is one Yajuhu. And then Namo Vrikshebhyo Harikeshebhyo Pashunam Pataye Namaha, that is second one. Like this, there are 13. So if we just keep observing the last portion, Disham Pataye, Pushunam Pataye, Pattinam Pataye, Pathinam Pataye, Sattvanam Pataye, it's all in Shashti Vibhakti and as well as Pati. The word Pati keeps repeating in all these 13 ages. So that's a very interesting thing. And how they have covered the whole creation, how they have covered so many things using all these things can be observed. Anyway, now on to the second one. Second yajus is Namo Vrikshebhyo Harikeshebhya Pashunam Pataye Namaha. Now, when we say Vrikshebhya, it's a very popular meaning for the word Vriksha, isn't it? Everybody knows what is a Vriksha. Vriksha means trees. Okay. Vrikshebhyo Namaha. So, namaskaras to the tree. That doesn't make any sense, isn't it? We were expecting something extraordinary. I mean, we do know that vriksha means tree, but that is not the expected meaning. Just like how people will have intended meaning and implied meaning. So similarly, shrotas, the ones who listen will also have something called as expected meaning. So until and unless it meets their expectation, it doesn't feel right. Yeah, okay. So similarly, what exactly is the abhiprayam? What is the opinion behind calling Parameshwara or Rudra as Vrikshanam Patihi? So it means that he's Adhipati of all the Vrikshas, all the trees. Okay, that sounds very simple. No, the Vriksha here is Samsara Vriksha. Okay. Urdhvamulam adhashakam ashwatham prahuravvyayam chandamsi yasya parnani yastam veda savedavit. Isn't it? The Bhagavad Gita has given this description of this samsara vriksham. Urdhvamulam adhashakam. So that type of samsara is considered as a vriksha, and he is Vrikshanam Pataye Namaha. He is Vrikshebhyo Namaha. He is that. That is one meaning. The second meaning for the word Vriksha is Vriksha Rupebhyo Rudrebhyo Namaha. The Rudras, there are so many different types of Rudras that we mention. So they do appear. Ye vriksheshu saspinjara nilagriva vilohitaha. And in the last Anuvaka of Namakam, this description is also there. Ye vriksheshu saspinjara nilagriva vilohitaha. So vriksheshu rudraha tishtanti. It is possible, it is very much evidently present that the Rudras that we talk about, the Parameshwara Shakti or the divinity that we are talking about, does exist on trees. So that's why we don't disrespect the tree. We have so much of regard for the tree as well. Whatever the tree is, whichever tree it is, we have so much of regard. So Vrikshabhyo Namaha. Another meaning is Vrikshavat Vrikshaha. Just like how the vriksha encompasses so many elements, leaves, stem, bud, flower, fruits, etc., etc. So similarly, that which encompasses so many things, that is Brahmandam. Vrikshavat vrikshaha. That which appears like vriksha is also called as vriksha sometimes. Yeah, okay. So it is a very simple thing. In Hindi they say, ये बैल जैसा है is one sentence. Okay. ये बैल है is a second sentence. It's like calling someone, like saying that he acts like a buffalo. He is a buffalo, something like that. So ये bail है. So similarly here as well, vrikshavat vrikshaha. Okay, people will kill me for giving such kind of examples, but that's okay. But as long as you can remember them, it's easier to connect with the examples that we already know rather than give some fancy example and make you understand that example and then go to the Ashtantikam. So it's easy if we just understand the examples that we are already aware of. So when we say vriksha, it is like vrikshavat yad vartate, saeva vriksha, that which exists like vriksha, that which functions like tree. What functions like tree? And if you observe the tree has got so many elements. So similarly, what has got so many elements that are functional at the same time, multifunctional thing. That is samsara. That's what they said. Brahmadi pipilikanta brahmanda kshiti prarudhaha sarva eva vrikshaha. This is what Bhattabhaskara writes. Whatever is or whatever can be comprehended in Brahmandam is called as vriksha. By vriksha, we are calling everything that is in Brahmandam. So when we say vrikshebhyo namaha, it is in plural as well. Plural is to indicate the magnanimity of this Brahmandam. Not that there are many samsaras or anything like that. When we say vrikshebhyo namaha, we mean that everything is nothing but Parameshwara. So to that Parameshwara who is the very form of Brahmanda, or who is the who can be viewed in the Virat Rupa. That is why he is called as Vrikshebhyo Namaha. A tree of life is also kind of similar to that, but mostly to this Brahmanda Vriksham. Another one is the very etymological meaning of the word vriksha is very interesting. Vrishchante iti vrikshaha. Okay, vrishchyante iti vrikshaha. That is the etymological meaning. Vrishchyante means that which can be killed or that which can be dismissed or eliminated. Vrishchanam is the declination that we understand. So that which are that whose nature or those whose nature is to decline are called as vriksha. So that is basically everything that we know. Vinashavantaha. So all creatures decline. Only Paramatma remains. No, only Paramatma is the truth. Everything else is declining only. So Vrikshanam Namaha or Vrikshebhyo Namaha means to all those that actually perish is called as all that perishes is called as Vriksha. That's another meaning. Okay, that is sufficient for Vrikshebhyo Namaha. Now starting from tree to all that perishes, I think deserved meaning has reached various levels now. Now we will move to Namo Vrikshebhyo Harikeshebhyo Namaha. Yeah, Abhinava Shankara, he says that first we should do the Anvaya of Pashunam Pataye Namaha, and then Vrikshebhyaha and Harikeshebhyaha are adjectives of Pashunam Pataye Namaha, is how he actually indicates. That's one way of looking at it. However, these three adjectives that have been mentioned, three Visheshanas that have been told in this Yajus, individually also address Parameshwara only. For example, Harikeshebhyaha. Harikeshebhyaha means Haritavarnebhyah Keshebhyaha. Haritavarna means greenish color. Fresh is the idea. With green, we associate fresh. Unfortunately, today that is not the case. Green means something else nowadays. We have given up on holding on to the color green, which is very unfortunate. Uh, we think that green belongs to some other community. No, no, green belongs to us. It's a very important color. Haritavarnebhyaha, Haritakeshebhyaha, say Harikeshebhyaha is said. We can't give up on colors like this. We have given up on so many things. We should not give up on colors, at least. So Harikeshebhyaha is Kesha is the color of the hair that is greenish. Uh, Elsewhere in the same Anuvaka, there is Neelamurdhajebhyaha is also there. Okay, but however here Harita Keshebhyaha is Harita Varna Keshebhyaha. Now, Harikeshebhyaha is an adjective for Vrikshebhyaha. What type of Vriksha? Harikeshebhyo vrikshebhyaha. That type of vriksha which has got green leaves. The leaves of the tree appear to be like its kesha. Therefore, Harikeshebhyo vrikshebhyo namaha. Uh, in that sense. Okay, I think that makes sense. Then the last one of this yajas is Pashunam Pataye Namaha. Pashunam Patihi. There is a famous statement from the Puranas. Brahmadhyaha sthavarantashcha pashavav parikirtitaha. Starting from Brahma, the Srishtikarta Brahma, to sthavara, to things that don't move, like mountains and rocks and etc. Everything in this universe, in this creation, is called as Pashu. Everything is addressed as Pashu. ब्रह्माद्या स्थावरांताश्च पशवः परिकीर्तिताः तेषां पतित्वात्. And because he is the commander of all those things, he is Paramatma, he is Parameshwara, so he is above all the creatures. Therefore, Tesham Patitvat Vishveshaha, Vishwanathaha, that is Parameshwaraha, Bhavav Pashupati Smritaha. Bhava Vishvesha is called as Pashupati. The same idea is Pashunam Pataye Namaha. All that is active. The word Pashu means to be active. Okay. He who protects them, he who is the commander of them is called as Pashupatihi. Pashunam Pataye Namaha. Then we move on to the third yajus. Sarvada yat Pashun Pati. So this is another line from the Purana. Sarvada yaf Pashun Pati. He who protects all the Pashus, at all times. Taishchayad Ramate Punaha. And he who is indulged by all these creatures. So, what is every creature seeking? All creatures are seeking that Sukham, Anandam, that is the Swarupam of Paramatma, isn't it? So, in that way, everybody is seeking Paramatma only with different names and different labels, that's all. Everybody is seeking happiness. To put it in very simpler terms, everybody is seeking to remain happy, to remain in that Ananda state. That Anandam is the Paramatma Swarupam. Therefore, it says, Taishchayadramate Punaha, Tesham Adhipatitvacha. And he is commanding over them, he is above all of them. That's why he is called as Tasmat Pashupati Smrta. That's why he is considered or he is called as Pashupati. Okay, that is the second yajas. Now we move on to the third yajas. The third yajas reads Namas Saspinjaraya Tvishimate Pathinam Pataye Namaha. Okay, Pathinam Pataye. So even while chanting, people tend to make the mistake by calling it as a, Patinam Pataye Namaha. And he's like, he's the Pati of all Pati. No, no, no. One Pati is sufficient for him. One patitvam is sufficient for him. By pronouncing Pathinam Pataye Namaha as Patinam Pataye Namaha, we are making him Patita. We are not adding anything to him. And we are making ourselves as well as Patita, you know, who have gotten down, dropped down. So pronunciation should be perfect. And if anybody has any doubt, I think this is a spelling mistake. This is a typo error. It should be Patinam Pataye Namaha because I have heard is the Lord of all lords. Something. No, no. The word is correct. It is Pathinam Pataye Namaha. Okay, that's first thing that I wanted to clear. Now, Saspinjaraya. There's a very beautiful meaning for the word Saspi. Okay, Saspi means tender grass. Bala Shashpam. It is called as Shashpam. Shashpam means, Bala Trunam is called as Saspi. Okay, Saspinjaraya means he who is red hued, just like that tender grass. The tender grass, when it gets that red, it will have a little bit of red hue in it. Right? It will not come out as red. When something pops out, when something sprouts, it will look at its very tender stage. It looks a little bit of reddish. Okay, that is the color that they are mentioning. Saspinjara, yeah. So at least the artist, whoever is artist, if they are taking a note, Parameshwara's Varna is mentioned in so many different colors. And we have already seen Asau Yastamro Aruna Uta Babhrusu Mangalaha. Simply, and if you are an artist, if you have been commissioned to draw Parameshwara, simply don't put blue paint on Parameshwara. Not all devatas come in blue. It is such a blue thing to do. No, devatas have different colors, So here it is Saspinjaraya. He who is, he who appears in that red hue. It's a very tender grass. When it appears, it looks very, very red hued, and not red, but a shade of red. You can call. So that is Saspinjaraya. That is one meaning of the word Saspinjaraya. Then there are certain obstacles. Yeah. Somebody like Maricha and Subahu. We think that Maricha and Subahu were just the names. Okay. Those type of Yajna Vigna Kartaraha exist at all times. Those who invoke obstacles for the completion of Yajna, they always exist. They are called as Saspintikaha. The name for those type of vignas, those type of obstacles or hurdles or impediments are called as saspintikaha. Saspintikan jarayati, nashayati. He who destroys those type of yajna vignas is called as saspinjaraha. And saspinjaraya namaha. By saying Saspinjaraya Namaha, he who destroys all those elements who try to bring down the yajna. Okay. Yajna Vigna Karaha Shaktayaha Yaha Santi. What all Shaktis, what all elements exist that want to destroy Yajna, he destroys them, he removes them, he eliminates them. Therefore, he is called as Saspinjaraya. Yajnadruhanam, Nashakaya. Okay, this is the second meaning of the word Saspinjaraya. Namas Saspinjaraya. And then Twishi Mate. Okay, Twishi Mate. Twit means Kanti, duty, glow. A divine glow is called as Twit. Twishi Mate means he who possesses that divine glow. Always to have that glow. Some people are pleasant after the sun comes up. Some people are pleasant only in the night. Some people are pleasant early in the morning. Some people are never pleasant. Okay. But then there is Parameshwara who is always pleasant. Many people keep asking this. One of the qualities that has been mentioned as part of the 16 divine qualities or divine attributes of Rama. Okay. One of the qualities mentioned by Valmiki is Ekapriyadarsanaha. Kaschaika Priyadarsanaha. He asked this question, who is Eka Priyadarsanaha? And it means that from whatever angle, at whichever point of time, whenever you look at Rama, he should invoke that pleasantness. Okay, that pleasantness is considered to be very important. That is the twit, that is the glow. If you don't have that kind of glow, and that is not something that we can induce on ourselves, that we can invoke on ourselves by applying some cream. It doesn't come with that. Okay, it may make the tone a little brighter. uh, Tone gets brighter, not the glow. The glow is something that comes from within. Okay, that is called as Kanti, Tejas. So many words we use. Duty. These are other words. So he is Twishi Mate. He has that top-notch twit, top-notch Kanti with him. Therefore, तुषीमते दीप्ति अतिशय दीप्तिः अतिशय दीप्तिमान इत्यर्थः. He is अतिशय दीप्तिमान. And then absolutely radiant. And Abhinav Shankara, he doesn't mince his words. He comes directly. He says Tushimate Prakashavate. He says that he is Swayam Prakashaha. He is Paranjyoti Swarupaha. That is the intended meaning with the word Tvishimate. So when we say Namassas Pinjaraya, Tvishimate, Tvishimate means Parameshwaraya, Paranjyotishe ityartha. Then Pathinam Pataye Namaha. This is very important, isn't it? I told you. Pathinam Pataye Namaha. Now, the word Pathi here refers to all different types of paths. What all paths could exist? Shastroktaha Margaha. Various types of marga, various types of paths are told in the Shastra. There is Vama Marga, there is Dakshina Marga, Kaula, Samaya, that we hear in the Srividya path, Kaulachara, Samayachara, uh, and he is Vamamarga Pravartakaya Namaha. Parameshwara is called as Vamamarga Pravartakaya Namaha. Okay. So all these things are included. Now, there is a little bit of discussion that I wanted to do because when we say Pathinam Pataya, the word Pathi here refers to all different paths. It is not only the Vaidika Marga, but also Tantrika Marga. The Tantrika Marga is believed to be addressed for Vimohanam cha Dehinam. Okay. It is to ensure that the creatures, people, intellectuals get confused. Okay. The the uddesham is to make them confused and make them Veda Vimukhaha. Because it takes a while. The punishment takes a while. If you do not follow, if you have been given an opportunity to follow the path laid out to us by the Veda, this is the reason why Shankara Bhagavad Padaha is more than what meets the eye of a Vedantin. He's not just a Vedantin. Okay. See, you look at the way he has mentioned, the chronology of things that he has mentioned. Jantunam narajanma durlabham, and then ataf pumstvam, tato viprata. And after that, what is the line that he mentions? Tasmad Vaidika dharma marga parada. He mentions very clearly to be born as a human, the two as a male, the two as a Vipra, and then having got initiation into Vaidika Dharma Marga. So, Vaidika Marga, by saying that what does it indicate? When you say Jantunam Narajanma Durlabham, is it not indicating the fact that there are many other yonis as well, many other creatures as well? We could have born as something else as well. So when we say that being born as a human is a privilege, it means that there are plenty of other options as well. So just like that, when we say Vaidika Dharma Marga Parata, it also indicates that there are many other paths that we could have treaded as well, that we could have taken up as well. So one such path is called as Tantra Marga. Shruti Patha Dalitanam Tantra Marga Pradishta. Those who have fallen off from the Vaidika Marga, for them there is a Tantra Marga. So there is no need to give that kataksham, that usually, that is only Tantra Margam. No, you don't have to do such kind of kataksham on Tantra Margam. It is needed. It is very much needed. It is for the very upliftment of those who have fallen down from Veda Marga that Tantra Marga has been told. And this Tantra Marga has been told by Parameshwara himself. It is initiated by Parameshwara himself. That is the reason why we are calling him as Pathinam Pataye Namaha. He who is the Lord of all types of paths is not just only meant for Vaidika Marga, he is the Lord for all types of paths. Okay. Uh, Tasmadvai. I want to read few lines from Abhinava Shankara's commentary, which makes more sense because we need certain clarity on these type of elements. Uh, After having attended Rudradhyaya, one fine day, one may come across the fact that the same Rudra is also worshipped or approached by the Tantrikas as well, by the Tantris as well, by the Mantravadis as well. And we feel we develop that kind of jugupsa towards them first, and then eventually we develop jugupsa over Rudradhyaya as well. uh, I know that path, people will get that kind of idea. This is okay, okay. And that's why Vishnu Sahasranama is best. You think uh, any mantra can be used for mantravada. That's the beauty of it. Like how anything can be turned into astra. Similarly, anything can be turned into mantravada as well. So there is no end to those kind of things. So we should not stop looking at, or we should not start looking at the Veda mantras in that manner or the deity in that manner. That's why certain a certain amount of clarity is needed. That is the reason why I'm going ahead with this. I know that I can simply say Vaidika Marganam, Tantrika Marganam, Adhipataye Namaha, and move on to the next stages. But no, I want to make a point here. That's why I'm just going to read that. Tasmadvai Veda Bahyanam, those who have already gotten away from the Veda Marga, Rakshanartham, for their protection, for their upliftment, for their prosperity, and Papinam Vimohanaya cha Shastrani Karishyavaha. Both Shiva and Hari, both Hari and Hara, they came together and they decided that for the upliftment of those who have committed innumerable papas and who have gotten off the track of Veda Marga, for them we will do that. Chakara Moha Shastrani Keshavopi Shiveritaha. Even Keshava, that is Keshava is Vishnu. Even Vishnu did all these things. What are they? Kapalam, Lagudam, Shaktam, Bhairavam, Purvapaschimam, Pancharatram, Pashupatam, Tathanyanyapi, Tathanyani Sahasrashah. There are so many things. Pancharatra is there, Pashupata is there, Laguda, Bhairava, Shakta. All of them are tantras. You don't need to get scared by all these, by hearing these words. Oh, they are Shaktas. Oh, they are Shakti Upasakas. Oh, let me not speak to them. Hey, why? Why do you have to fear? There is nothing to fear. When you have Parameshwara, why do you have to fear? Because he has been addressed as Pathinam Pataye Namaha, he who is the commander of all the margas. If you indulge in those kind of things for simple benefits, for children benefits, as they call in Kannada. Children means very simple ones. Yeah. You are being troubled by somebody, okay, and you want to eliminate them. For that purpose, if you are going to get exposed to, or if you are going to exercise tantra, then you should be scared. Of course, you should be scared. You should be scared because you used such a wonderful path for such children kelsa. So that's why you should be scared. Yeah, otherwise there is no need to be scared. Yeah. Pathinam pataye namaha. And yet tantrashrayena matpuja cha krita tvaya. Even only using tantra, if someone has worshipped Parameshwara, okay, taya na pritava nasmitava shandilya te priyaha kumargena shandilya krita puja mamatvaya. Okay, even through this tantra marga, if a puja has been done to Parameshwara, atah kalena mahata, what will happen? It is a cycle. It is a punishment. That punishment will ensure that they remain in that tantra marga. They will remain in a Veda Bhakya marga for several time, for several years, and then Mahata Kalena, Atah Kalena Mahata, after many, many years, Veda Marganga Mishyasi. They will get back to Vedika Marga. And from there onwards, they will get on to Brahma Marga. So it's a long process. So no need to judge anybody. If you have the option of walking the path of Veda, then please do walk the path of Veda. That's the first Upadesha by Shankara Bhagavad Padaha in Upadesha Panchikam. Vedo Nityam Adhiyatam. Walk the path of Veda every day. When you have the opportunity, make use of it. When you do not have the opportunity, of course, it will take time. You don't have to worry. It will take time. Um, it is so. Why would Parameshwara uh, create such kind of tantra marga, which is deceiving? Is the question, isn't it? It is quite deceptive in nature. Why would Parameshwara create such kind of marga? So, Papishtha Vishaye Parameshwarasya Mohakatvam. He kind of puts them into moha. We hear the same thing in Saptashati as well. Jnaninam apichetamsi Devi Bhagavati Hisa Balada Krishya Mohaya Mahamaya Prayachati. Uh, She is the one who actually puts people into moha. Even Jnaninam apichetamsi. Even those who are knowledgeable, they also get into moha. So similarly, why would Parameshwara do that? It is because Tadvishaye Dvesha Iva. It almost seems like, Parameshwara has got some vendetta against us. He is hell bent on making our life miserable. Many people have this complaint, isn't it? Whenever they are filled with miserable situations and struggles, they say that it's almost as if Parameshwara has got something against me. Everything is going against me. It only appears like that. But what is the true nature of that? Tadanugraha pariyavasitatvat. It is always going to end up as an anugraham for us. Okay. It is an anugraha that we have to complete that punishment. That shiksha has to happen. And shiksha, the very meaning of the word shiksha or shikshanam is vidyopadanam, to bring them back to the main fold. So it takes a while to, if you miss one exit in M1, I know I'm in the north, I have to say M6. If you miss one exit in M6, and then you have to go through a lot many things. So it's just like on a highway, if you miss one exit. In India, it doesn't work because you can simply take a U-turn and come back and join. But elsewhere, it doesn't work like that. If you miss one exit, you have to go a long way to join the same path. That's just what Tantra Marga is. It is Vimohanam. It creates the delusion, but it is okay. It is eventually going to end us back or get us back into Veda Marga. That's why Pathinam Pataye Namaha. That's for the third yajus. Then the fourth yajus is Namo Bablushaya Vivyadhine Annanam Pataye Namaha. Bablushaya. It's a very unique name, isn't it? And if there are anybody who are Hindi speaking people, yeah, here present, uh, it's a very popular name in Hindi speaking homes. You know, they would name somebody as Bablu. Have you heard it? Somebody would be nicknamed as Bablu. I'm not talking about your domestic animals. Don't bring those faces, okay? They are discarded. I'm talking about a person being named as Bablu. Okay. Um, what is the meaning of the word Bablu? They say, no, दादी ने रख दिया दादी का मन था दादी ने कहा इनका नाम इसका नाम बबलू रख दिया. But it has got somewhere, it must have a root in Sanskrit now. All apabhramshas that we speak, they must have some root somewhere present in our Vedic texts. So similarly, here we find Babhrushaya Namaha. Namo Babhrushaya. What is Babhrushaya? Babluhu means Bibharti Rudram Parameshwaram iti Babluhu. He who holds Parameshwara, he who puts Parameshwara on himself is called as Bablu. Basically, Bablu means Vrishabha. Vrishabha is called as Bablu. Babluhu or Babruhu means Vrishabha. And Tasmin Vrishabhe, Shete, he who stays, he who remains on Vrishabha, he who sits atop that Vrishabha is called as Bablusha. You remember Girisha? Girau athwa Girau Shete iti Girishaha. In the previous Anuvaka we have seen. He who stays, he who remains in all the Vak is called as Girisha. So similarly, he who stays atop that Bablu, that Vrishabha, is called as Bablusha. Namo Bablushaya is the meaning. Bibharti Parameshwaram iti Babluhu Vrishabha. Or Babruhu is another word. In Sanskrita, both in Vaidika Sanskrita as well as Laukika Sanskrita, Ralayor Abhedaha. There is no difference between Ra and La. So Bablu can also be read sometimes and understood as Babru. It doesn't mean that from tomorrow onwards, while chanting Rudradhyaya, you don't make the change. Namo Babrushaya. No, you say Namo Babrushaya only. But while understanding the meaning, Ralayor Abhedaha. So if you take the word Babru, what does the word Babru mean? Babru is a beautiful color. Okay. Babru is Kapila Pingalaha. Kapila is there. It's a very unique hue of orange. Okay. It's not purely Bhagava, not that kind of orange. And Kapila Gauhu. It's brownish and orange. Somewhere in between brown and orange, you can find that shade. That is Kapila. And then you add a little bit of yellow onto it. That is Kapila Pingala. And if you mix these two colors, you get Babru. That is the color. He is in that color. That's why he is called as Babhrushaya Namaha. Tadvarnavate. He is in that color. Another color change for Parameshwara. How many colors he has? Uh, he is so colorful. And we thought that Parameshwara is colorless. He only comes in either white or black. Ishvara Lingam, either white or black. He is so colorful. Parameshwara, Babhrushaya Namaha. And this Babhru is a wonderful thing. It is the thing that this color represents Kumbha Rashi in Jyotisha. Babhru Swachha Pratama Bhavana Dyeshu Varna Plavatvam. Ramira says. Babhru is the color of Kumbha Rashi. Kumbha Rashi is the most underrated Rashi in Jyotisha. Okay. So, but there is a huge hidden meaning of Kumbha. Kumbha is the one that actually encompasses everything. It is the Srishti Rashi, it is the Laya Rashi as well. It is the actual Laya Rashi where everything gets immersed into it, like how everything gets into that Kumbha. Parameshwara is also like that. Ishvara is like that, no? He has everything in him. That's why he is in that same color. Or the color of Parameshwara is attributed to Kumbha Rashi as well. I'm just giving one more reference where we can actually understand. Namo Babhrushaya. And then we move on to the next word. Vivyadhine. Vivyadhi means Visheshena Vidveshinam Vidhyati. He who eliminates the Vidveshins. Vidveshins means enemies. He who kills enemies is called as Vivyadhine. He who attacks the enemies is called as Vivyadhine. Vividham Vidhyati is also called as Vivyadhi. The one is he who you know, he who attacks the enemies, he who throws all types of arms and ammunitions and weapons at enemies is called as Vivyadhi, Vivyadhini. Okay, Vidveshanam Vidhyati, Vivyadhi Tatha Vidhaya. There is another meaning where Vividham Vidhyati. He who tortures or he who puts us through various tests is called as Vivyadhi. Bubhukshadi Rupena. We have Bubhuksha, we have Pipasa, we have so many ichhas, so many desires that we have, and we have to quench all of them. So he who puts us through so many different tests is called as Vivyadhi. So we are acknowledging the fact that whatever I'm going through, it is from Pathinam Pataye. We are just following up from Pathinam Pataye. And immediately after Pathinam Pataye, we said Namo Babhrushai, because nobody is going to read these lines while chanting individually. नमो हिरण्यवाहवे सेनान्ये निशाञ्चपतये नमो नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यः पशूनां पतये नमो नमः सस्पिञ्जरा यत्विषीमते. They think yatvishiimate. They don't remember while chanting. They don't remember नमः सस्पिञ्जराय त्विषीमते. No, नमः सस्पिञ्जरा यत्विषीमते पथीनां पतये नमो नमो बुभ्रुषाय व्याधिनेन्नानां पतये. That's how it goes, unfortunately. So more and more we try to remember the connection, it becomes easier for the flow. Otherwise, while chanting Namo Hiranyabhave, I remembered Hiranyabhave because that is the first word that I told. And later on, the meaning of every word I forgot because it was too speed. I was focusing on how to match the tempo of everybody in Rudra chanting group. Okay, that can happen. So that's why it's very important for us to focus on the meaning and the connection. After calling him as Pathinam Pataye, the one who is the commander of Vaidika Marga, the lord of Vaidika Marga and Tantra Marga, we called him as Babhlushaya. He sits atop Dharma. Vrishabha is a representation of Dharma. Yeah. I got fascinated because there is Vrishabha and then there is Kumbha as well. Vrishabha and Kumbha, both of them together. That is even more fascinating, isn't it? I'm not going to tell what is the connection that exists between Vrishabha and Kumbha. Okay, that is too much of Jyotisha for one day. Okay, but Babhrushaya is where that dharma is indicated, and then he is mentioning as Vivyadhine, he who puts us through various tests. Vivyadhine, and then Annanam Pataye Namaha. All the edible things are called as Anna. Okay, it just does not mean only rice. In South India, in the southern part, we use the word anna only for rice. Anna means anything that is edible, anything that is eatable is called as anna. Atti adyate cha iti annam. अद्यते तिच भूतानि तस्मादन्नं तदुच्यत इति Upanishad. Okay, that is annam. Annanam pataye namaha. And also, while we talk about edible things, the edible things or anna is usually classified into four parts, four different categories. Uh, Bhakshya, Bhojya, Shoshya, and Lehya as well. Bhakshya is that which we tala hua, fried. That is bhaksham. Bhojyam is that which is cooked and we consume it. Uh, and Lehya is something that is pasted. Okay. Shoshya is or choshya or shoshya is something that we slurp. That is the word, socium, that which we drink. And then, so in this way, all the edible things, not the ideal thing, at least not for me. It's only 6:20 in the morning for me. I don't know for you, you people, you're all, I mean, if you are in Indian time zone, this is the proper time for another round of masala dosa. I don't know. And, and it depends on where you stay. But for me, it's only 6:30. I would be more glad if I got a cup and a glass of water now. So no bhakshya, bhojya, lehya, and shoshya for me. But annanam pataye namaha. Then we move on to the next one. Namo harikeshaya upaveethine pushtanam pataye namaha is the next yajus. Namo harikeshaya. See, I mentioned previously, harikeshebhyaha was used. Okay. Here, we are seeing the word harikeshaya. Namo vrikshebhyo harikeshebhyaha. There. Here, Namo harikeshaya. We are calling Parameshwar as Harikeshaya. What do we mean by Harikeshaya? Neelam Urdhajaya. The word Hari here refers to pitch black. Hari means pitch black hair. Therefore, Harikeshaya is he who has pitch black hair. It means he is forever young. Palita Rahitaya. Sayana writes that he who doesn't get his hair grey. His hair is never grayed. So he is called as Palita Kesh, Palita Kesha Rahitaya, Palita Rahitaya, Neelamurdhajaya. That is the meaning. Neelamurdhajaya, Nitya Yune. Bhatta Bhaskara says he is Nitya Yuvaka, always Yuva. Okay. Everybody, all commentators have mentioned that Harikeshaya is an indication of Nitya Yavanam of Parameshwara. Namo Harikeshaya, and then Upavitine. He has a Yajnopavitam. Parameshwara has worn a Yajnopavitam. How fascinating it is to visualize Paramatma wearing a Yajnopavitam. See, there are many things that we witness in Parameshwara, but to witness that Yajnopavitam in Paramatma, in Bhagavan, is a different thing. Yes, Harita is both green and black. Yes. The Harita is green. Hari, the word Hari means black. It, the word Hari has got various meanings. So Hari is black. Whereas Namo Vrikshebhyo Harikeshebhya, there they took the word Harikeshebhya and they ensured that the Hari is Harita there, green. Here, when they say Harikeshaya, they kept the word Hari itself and Neelamodhajaya, black haired. So Upavitine Yajnopavita Dharine. And this Yajnopavita Dharanam also indicates that Parameshwara is Adi Brahmana. Thank God some guru did not hear this. Okay. Very sleek, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. So he is called as Parameshwara is called as Adi Brahmana. So some lines on that I wanted. Twandeveshu Brahmanosi. Why I wanted to indicate this is even amongst the Devatas, the Varna Vyavastha exists. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. That system exists even amongst Devatas. But Devatas don't quarrel. And Devatas did not fall to this false idea proposed by some cute people that Varna system is a caste system. No, Varna does not mean caste. Varna is classification. They are classified as Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So amongst them, amongst the Devatas, they say that Twan Deveshu Brahmanosi is from an Upanishad. Twan Deveshu Brahmanosi. Adi Brahmanam Ishanam. Ishana is Parameshwara. He is called as Adi Brahmana. Adi Brahmanam Ishanam Upadhavet Nacha Itaram. You should not go behind anybody else, but you should go and you should approach or you should worship the Adi Brahmana, that is Parameshwara. Brahmatejodhikam Rajan Nakshatram Vaishya Sambhavam. Brahmateja is supreme than every other ability. We hear that famous line from Ramayanam where Vishwamitra proclaims that Dhikbalam Kshatrabalam Brahmatejo Balam Balam. Balam means Brahmateja. Kshatrabalam is Dhikbalam Kshatrabalam because he was a Kshatriya once. So he could say that. Okay. I, who have never took the weapon in my hand, cannot go and say Dikbalam Kshatrabalam, Brahma Tejo Balam Balam. No, I cannot say that. So and we are not even at that level. Vasishtha could say that Brahma Tejo Balam Balam. Because when Kaushika, no, Vishwamitra in his previous edition, Kaushika, when he fired all those arrows, all those astras and shastras on Vasishtha, Vasishtha did not flinch, Vasishtha did not do anything. He just kept his Brahmadandam and he remained in Samadhi. In Divya Samadhi, he remained. That Brahmadandam Sarvam Grasati. It swallowed all the astras that were thrown. That's when Vishwamitra realized, oh, Digbalam, Kshatrabalam, Brahma Tejo Balam Balam. So that is exactly what is being mentioned here as well. Sarvesha Madhiko Yasmat, because he is supreme than everybody. Tasmat Bhagavan Brahmana Shivaha. Remember this line. Sarvesha Madhiko Yasmat Bhagavan Brahmana Shivaha. Shiva is Brahmana. He is Adi Brahmana. That's why Upavitine Namaha. Okay, right. Then Pushtanam Pataye Namaha. Namo Harikeshayopavitine Pushtanam Pataye Namaha. Pushti. Pushti is nourishment. Pushtaha, Pushtani. How many types of Pushti are there? This is interesting. You may want your pen and paper and start writing it down quickly. Zig, 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 very quickly, as soon as possible. I don't want to miss any of these things. There are 10 types of Pushti. Dashavidha Pushtayaha. Okay. Vak Pushti. Speech. Vak Pushti. Jnana Pushti. Okay. Then Sharirendriya Pushti. Sharira is body, Indriya is sense organs. Sharirendriya Pushti, third one. Griha Kshetra Pushti. Griha is where we stay. Kshetra is the place in where the Griha is built. So sometimes, oh, this is fascinating. I don't want to get into Jyotisha today. I don't know why. All of a sudden, that is quite active in the morning for me today. So only Jyotisha references today. I'm so sorry. Uh, Griham is different, Kshetram is different. They think Griham and Kshetram is one and the same. No, they are not. They are different. Rashi Kshetra Griharkshabhani Bhavanam Chaikartha Samvrityaya is what Varahamira said. Rashi, Kshetra, Griha, Riksha, Bha. All these words are used in the same meaning, is the general meaning, is the primary meaning. But we don't care about that's not we don't care about implied meaning. We have one more brilliant meaning than implied meaning. It's called as Vyangyartha. Not the Kannada Vyangyartha. Vyangyartha is the hidden meaning, the intended meaning. More than implied, the intended meaning, the deep lying meaning. The deep lying meaning is Griha and Kshetra are two different concepts. Okay. Griha is something that holds us. Kshetra is even more fundamental than Griha. Kshetra is where Griha actually stands. Therefore, when we say Griha Kshetra Pushti, so we should seek that nourishment not only for Griha but also for Kshetra. Why I mentioned this is many times what happens is there will be some Griha dosha, not Graha dosha, Griha dosha. There will be some things that are not going well in the place where we live. And then there will be some Kshetra dosha. So when we do Vastu Shanti, usually you have observed that they don't do Vastu Shanti alone. They do Rakshogna as well, isn't it? I'm sure you have seen Rakshogna also being performed. Vastu Rakshogna. It's a combination. Uh, During Griha Pravesham, we do Vastu and Rakshogna. Vastu is for Griham. Rakshogna is for Kshetra. Because all these Raksho Badha, all the Badhas and Dushta Shaktis and all these elements, they exist in the Kshetra. And one has to eliminate that. Therefore, Rakshoghanam is performed. So, Griha and Kshetra. And we are seeking the Pushti for both Griha and Kshetra as well. That's why Griha Kshetra Pushti, Pushtanam Pataye Namaha. And then Dhanadhanya Pushti is the fifth one. Dhana Pushti and Dhanya Pushti. Dhanam is wealth and Dhanyam is resources. By the word Dhanya, we have to understand resources. See, having wealth is different, having resources is different. Once upon a time, they in many houses they didn't used to have money, but they used to have food, sufficient food. That is Dhanya Pushti. They may not have had Dhana Pushti, but Dhanya Pushti was there. So we are seeking both Dhana Pushti and Dhanya Pushti. Dhana Dhanya Pushti. Sixth one is Praja Pushti. Praja is our next generation is called as Praja. So Praja Pushti. And Pushu Pushti. Cattle. Okay, they are very important for us. If we have to earn something, if we have to make a living, whether it is for Brahmana, he requires cow. For Kshatriya, he requires a lot of animals. He requires elephants, he requires horses, he requires camels. And for Vaishya, for transportation, he requires animals. Okay. For Shudra to carry all the materials, he requires animals. So, Pashus, animals have been integral part of our ecosystem. And when we seek some nourishment, we don't seek nourishment only for ourselves. We seek nourishment for both Dvipat as well as Chatushpat. Dvipat is all those who have two legs uh, in the family. And Chatushpat is all those things that have four legs but are associated with us. We seek the pushti for them as well. We don't seek only for us. We are not that single minded or what do you call selfish. Now, we have this broader vision. So Pashu Pushti and then Grama Pushti, the community where we live, the village where we live. We want that village to be good as well, or the place where we live, the town, city, whatever it is. Grama Pushti. The ninth one is Dharma Pushti. So we want the condition that we are in, the natural condition that we are in, to be always nourished. Therefore, Dharma Pushti is also sought. The last one is Animadi Pushti. The Siddhi Pushti. This is called as Siddhi Pushti. Anima, Mahima, Garima, Laghima, Prapti, Prakamya, Ishitva, Vashitva. These are the Ashtasiddhis, eight different types of Siddhis. So for all these Siddhis, Siddhi is an accomplishment. It's a level. It's a certain grade that one has achieved, and that has to be nourished. And we are seeking that nourishment from Parameshwara. Therefore, he is Pushtanam Pataye Namaha. He is the one who commands over all these Pushtis. So, if Parameshwara is appeased, if Parameshwara is Prasanna, then we will have Pushti in all these areas. Pushtanam Pataye Namaha. Then we move on to the sixth Yajus. Namo Bhavasya Hetli Jagatam Pataye Namaha. Bhavasya Heti. Bhava here refers to samsara. Okay. Bhavasya Hetyai. Heti. Heti means ayudha, weapon. So the weapon for samsara. What do you mean weapon for samsara? For the elimination of samsara. Sometimes, Veda doesn't use the actual word. It says that you'll understand the meaning of it. Many a times, even at home while speaking, especially in Canada, I don't know. I don't know about others. They would just take a stick in their hand. That's it. They know why they are holding a stick in their hand to beat us down. So you get the idea. So similarly, when we say bhavasya heti, he who wields a weapon, ayudha, heti means ayudha, he who wields a weapon for samsara. I'm wielding a weapon for you. I'm holding a stick for you. What is the complete the sentence? I am holding a stick for you. How will you complete the sentence? I'm holding a stick for you to get beaten, so that you can get beaten. I'm holding a stick. So similarly, when you say bhavasya hetihi, he is the weapon for samsara, for the samsara nasha, for the elimination of samsara. Samsara uchcheda yitre. Okay. Samsara chedaka ityartha. So when we say bhavasya hetaye, hetyai namaha, namo bhavasya hetyai, samsara nashakaya, he who wields a weapon to eliminate samsara for us. He's called as Bhavasya Heti Namaha. And then now from here onwards it gets a little bit simpler. Two or three words, that's all. Jagatam Pataye Namaha. He is the Adhipati of all the Jagat. And needless to say, he is Jagadisha. The word Jagadisha is so unique, because it is applicable. Generally, Jagadisha is Vishnu, has as well as Shiva as well. So when you say Jagannatha, so do you think Jagannatha is Vishnu? Jagannatha is Vishnu, Jagannatha is Shiva as well. It's Jagadambadaye Namaha. Oh no, no. Jagannath is only Vishnu. We are Pakka Vaishnavas and we only consider Jagannatha to be Vaishnava. And nothing like that. The word Jagannatha or Jagadisha is used for both of them. Jagatam Pataye Namaha. Then we move on to the next one. नमो रुद्राय आतताविने क्षेत्राणां पतये नमः. Rudraya. So when we come to this Rudraya, Namo Rudraya Atatavine Kshetranam Pataye Namaha. Abhinav Shankara in his commentary, Rudraha Samsara Dukkha Dravakaha. What is Rudra? Samsara Dukkha Dravakaha. He who dissolves all the dukkha, three types of dukkha that we have: Adhibhautika, Adhidaivika, and Adhyatmika dukkha. So he who eliminates, he who dissolves all three types of dukkha of samsara is called as dukkha dravaka. He is Rudra. Rudra means rum dukkham dravayati Rudraha. He who eliminates, he who dissolves all the dukkha of the prapancham, of the Vishwam, is called as Rudra. So Namo Rudraya Atatavine. In order to eliminate dukkha, what should he do? In the first Anuvaka, we have appeased him not to hold the weapons against us. We have asked him to put down the weapons. But when it comes to protecting us, he may have to wield a weapon. So Atatavine. Atatavine means Atatena Avati iti Atatavi. Oh, you just fall in love with the words that are in Veda. That's what I told you. You will find regular Samskrita to be very boring after this. Very boring. But Atatavi means Atatena Avati. Atatam means Vistaritam. With an expanded. Expanded is Dhanus, is the bow is expanded when you tie that thread. So Baddha Jya. Jya, that thread is called as Jya. So Baddha Jya is tied up thread. So the tied up bow usually indicates Atatam. It is Vistaritam. Atatena Avati. Avati means protects. Therefore, he is called as Atatavi. He who protects us with his bow ready. Namo Rudraya, Samsara Dukkha Dravakaya. He who eliminates all the dukkha of samsara by being Atatavi. And he protects us from samsara bhayam. I mean, it should not reappear to us. Samsara should not get to us again. So he protects us with Atatavi by holding that weapon. Atatena Avatiti Atatavi. And then Kshetranam Pataye Namaha. This time he is Kshetrapati. Okay. He is Pashupati. No. It is important to continue without any pause. Ideally, without any pause. Even more ideally, the prana shakti should be so strong. Namo Hiranyabhave. From there till Namah Kritsnavitaya Dhavatam Pataye Namaha. नम उच्चैर्घोषाय क्रन्दयते पत्तीनां पतये नमो नमः कृत्स्नवीताय धावते सत्त्वनां पतये नमः. Satvanam pataye namaha until there. One anuvaka. Because it's one sentence, that is samhita. That's how much it should be, ideally. But of course, if you are going to take a pause, there are ways of taking a pause. There must be a way of taking a pause. Yeah, that's an in-between question. Sorry. We'll continue with Atatavine Kshetranam Pataye Namaha. It's called as Kshetrapati. What is Kshetra? Kshetra doesn't mean only the plot. Okay, that is not the intention here. Kshetra here refers to Sharira. Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetramityabhidhiyate. Bhagavad Gita. This Sharira is called as Kshetra. So he is Kshetranam Pataye Namaha. He is the Adhipati of all the Kshetra, all the Shariras. How? How is he Adhipati? Because you see, Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hriddeshe Arjuna Tishtati Brahmayan Sarvabhutani Yantra Rudhani Mayaya. He is the one who sits in the heart of all creatures and runs them. If anything is running, if anything is active, running in the sense, if anything is active, it is only because of Parameshwara. That is why he is Kshetranam Shariranam Pataye Namaha. That's one meaning. Another meaning is Avimuktadi Tirthakshetranam Pataye Namaha. He who is the Lord, he who is the commander of all the Tirthakshetras. He is also called as Kshetranam Pataye Namaha. What is this Avimukta Kshetram? If someone has not heard about Avimukta Kshetram, Avimukta is nothing but Varanasi Kshetram. The original name of Varanasi is Avimukta Varanasi Kshetram. The presiding deity there is Avimukteshwara. He is the one who grants mukti there. The Avimukta, the Kshetra is called as Avimukta Varanasi. If you do any sankalpa there with the help of the local Panditji, observe the sankalpa there. Avimukta Varanasi Kshetre. They will make this in sankalpa. They will add this in sankalpa. It is called as Avimukta Varanasi Kshetra. That's one of the Pavitra Kshetras of Parameshwara. Like how Kumbakonam is there in the southern part. Okay, in southern India, Kumbakonam holds a very significant place. Okay. Anyakshetra papam tirthakshetre vinashyati. Okay. Whatever papa you commit in various kshetras, you can get rid of that in tirthakshetra. That's why you need to go to tirthakshetra for all the papas that we have committed. But what if someone commits a papa in tirthakshetra? Tirthakshetra kritam papam kumbhakone vinashyati. It gets eliminated in Kumbhakonam. And then they said that, Maharaj, what if someone commits a papam in Kumbhakonam? Kumbhakone kritam papam, Kumbhakone vinashyati. You don't have to go beyond Kumbhakonam, the greatest place on earth, Kumbhakonam. Okay. Some people may think that something has gotten into him. He's in a different mode altogether today. Then sometimes it happens. You just get that. That's all. So Kumbhakonam is a kshetram. Avimukta Varanasi is a kshetram. Ujjaini is a kshetram. All the Jyotirlingas that we see, they are all kshetram. And he is kshetranam pataye namaha. Okay, then we move on. Namasutaya ahantyaya vananam pataye namaha. He is Suta, the one who actually takes everyone forward. Sarathi. Okay. Sutaya Sarathaye. Jagadyantra Sarathihi. If everything is active, there must be something that is pulling everything together. That which is pulling everything together is Paramatma. He is considered as Suta. Therefore, Namasutaya. And then he is addressed as Ahantyaya. He who cannot be eliminated. Nayam Hanti Nahanyate. Bhagavad Gita. While describing Atma, they said, Nayam Hanti Nahanyate. Neither can it be killed nor can get killed. So he is Ahantya. Hantya means he who can get killed. He who can get eliminated. He is Ahantya. You cannot eliminate him. You cannot kill him. He is Ahantya. He is eternal. This is one meaning. Another meaning for the word Ahantya is Ahameva Sarvam iti Ahanta. Ahamityasya bhavaha ahanta. Okay. Tatra bhavaha. He who remains in that aham bhava at all times. Like aham brahmasmi kind of bhava. And he who remains in that uh, state, he is Paramatma now. So therefore, he who stays in that or he who remains in that state, he is Ahantya. Ahantyaya Namaha. Namo Rudraya, oh sorry, Namasutaya Ahantyaya, then Vananam Pataye Namaha. Vananam Patihi. Here the word Vana refers to all different types of Aranya. So there are classifications of Aranya. Okay. The word Kantara, before it became global outrage and famous, Kantara is a Sanskrit word. Okay. Kantareshu bhayeshu cha. Yeah. Nobody has paid attention to that. Yeah. They've been saying Aditya Hridayam, Aditya Hridayam, Aditya Hridayam. Kantareshu bhayeshu cha. The word Kantara is Sanskrit word. Kantara means it's a very dense forest. Okay. Kantara. So like that, different types of forests are there. So all types of forests are included in Vananam Pataye Namaha. Isn't it? That is the thing that we are looking at. Namasutaya Hantyaya Vananam Pataye Namaha. Then this is a classic mistake everybody does while chanting. Namasutaya Hantyaya. And they will end it somewhere else. Okay, let me demonstrate it. Namo Rudraya Tatavine Kshetranam Pataye Namo Namasutaya Hantyaya Vananam Pataye Namah. This is by practice that I have done that. Otherwise, people will say like this: Namo Rudraya Tatavine Kshetranam Pataye Namo Namasutaya Hantya Yavananam Pataye Namo Namaha. Ahantya, and then they will say Yavananam Pataye. Cute people. Yeah. It cannot be Yavananam Pataye. It is Vananam Pataye. It is Ahantyaya Vananam Pataye Namaha. Not Ahantya Yavananam Pataye Namaha. This is why it is important to know the meaning of each and every word, isn't it? Otherwise, we will end up saying, with Parama Bhakti, I'm saying Yavananam Pataye. He is not Yavananam Pati. He is Vananam Pataye Namaha. That is the indicated meaning here. Anyway, Vana also refers to Shmashana. Okay. Shmashananam Pati. He's the Adhipati, he's the Lord of Shmashana. No? Rudra is the one who holds the gate in the Smashana. That is the reason why Avimukta Varanasi Kshetram is called as Mahashmashanam. It is called as Mahashmashanam. You really need to observe next time when you go to Banaras and when you go to Kashi and you are doing some puja, something there. Uh, Even if you pay 2000 rupees to that Panditji who will take you to do Sparsh Darshan in Vishwanatha temple, they will do some Sankalpa. It's okay if you give 2000, 5000, 10,000, Yathashakti, whatever you give, it's your karma. You give. But observe how they make Sankalpa. In that Sankalpa, they will mention all these things. Avyunkta Varanasi Kshetram will come there. Mahashmashane will also come there. We don't pay attention to any of these things. That's why it is out of our mind. But we need to understand by Vananam Patihi, we mean Shmashananam Patihi as well. Then we move on to the next one, the 10th Yajus. Namo Mantrine Vanijaya Kakshanam Pataye Namaha. Namo Mantrine. He is Mantri. And you sometimes you call him as the king, now you are calling him as Mantri. You make up your mind. What is he? Is he a king or a minister? You know? So, mantri, the word mantri here means he who has all the mantras, the rahasya of all the mantras with him. He is mantri. Mantraha asya asti iti mantri. How many mantras? Sapta koti. Okay, 7 crore mantras are there. So he has sapta koti sankhyaha mantraha. So he who has the rahasya of all the 7 crore mantras is called as mantri. Namo mantrine. Okay. And
Um,
then
uh, Guruji, sorry. I think we missed Namo Rohitai
Really?
before
Oh,
mantra.
sorry. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you for reminding. Oh, we did not finish Namo Rohitaya. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, we went to Mantrine Namaha. Okay, okay. Namo Rohitaya. Thank you. Thank you. Namo Rohitaya. Rohita means Lohita, red. Rohita means red. Namo Rohitaya. He who is red. Okay. That is his varna, his color. Okay. You haven't found any picture in red color Shiva, isn't it? It's always blue paint, standard paint. It is Rohita Varna. Okay. Then Sthapataye, he's called as Sthapati. Elsewhere, we also have heard the word Sthapati. The one who constructs, an engineer is called as Sthapati, a civil engineer basically. The one who designs and executes the planning and everything is called as Sthapati. But here, Sthapati has got a different meaning. Sthapati means Sthata cha pata cha Sthapati. He who remains and protects everyone is called as Sthapati, not just the constructor or builder. He is not just the builder. He is Thata cha Pata cha. Pata is he who protects. He remains and protects. That's why he is called as Sthapati. Namo Rohitaya Sthapataye. The word Rohita also has a different another meaning as well. Ro means all the words that we have. And through all the words, if we and even with all the words, the one who is addressed, the one who is approached with all the words is called as Rohita. Ro means Vachakaha, all the words. Hitaya means where all the words are dedicated to him. To whom or to what all the words remain dedicated is called as Rohita. It's another meaning. Namo Rohitaya Sthapataye. Sthapati is again, he is Grihadinam Kartre, he is the engineer, the builder, as well as Sthatacha Patacha, Sarvatra Patacha Sarvasya. He stays everywhere, he protects everyone. That's why he is Sthapati. And then Vrikshanam Pataye Namaha. We have already explained Vrikshanam Pataye Namaha. So none of the commentators write any word, any single word on this. They say, you already know. How many times do we have to tell you? So Vrikshanam Pataye Namaha. He who is the Lord of all that is declining, all that perishes. He is the Adhipati of them. Vrikshanam Pataye Namaha. So, and we already know in the last Anuvaka when we read this mantra, Ye Vriksheshu Saspinjara Neelagriva Vilohitaha. See the connection of Vilohitaha, Visheshena Lohitaha, especially Atishayena red, Atishayena Raktavarnaha, Vilohitaha. The Rudras, the Rudra is Vilohita. Vriksheshu, ye Vriksheshu Rudraha Tishtanti. The Rudras that stay in Vriksha, they are Vilohitaha. Ye Vriksheshu Saspinjara. They are Saspinjara. We have already understood what is Saspinjara. Balatranam, Shashtam. Okay. That is also of a red hue. Namas Saspinjaraya. Fantastic. Now everything gets connected now. Hmm. Okay, moving on. Namo Mantrine. I've already explained Mantrine. Mantram also means Gupta Bhashanam, Mantra Lochanam as well. He's the one who protects that mantra. There is a huge topic. This is a huge topic in Artha Shastram as well, where not only mantram but also how to protect the mantram, the confidentiality of mantram, how to maintain the confidentiality of mantram is also discussed. So the confidentiality of any discussion, anything that has been discussed, if it has to be maintained, then we need to invoke a certain deity. Okay, that is why it is important to have someone who is a mantrajna. When we say mantrajna, it's not just he who knows mantra, he who is eligible in all these things. See, the word mantra is used in a very broader sense. We have reduced it to only one sense. So this is the same problem that exists even to this day when it comes to Jyotisha as well. While describing a Jyotishi, while describing the eligibility or criteria for a Jyotishi, they say that there should be mantra siddhi for a Jyotishi. Every single one of them has interpreted mantra siddhi as to get one mantra and do the Puruscharanam and get the siddhi of that particular mantra or that particular devata. This is exactly how everyone has interpreted it. But mantra siddhi for a Jyotishi is what is being told here as Gupta Bhashanam, confidentiality. They should know how to maintain that confidentiality. That is mantra siddhi. To not reveal the details elsewhere. That is mantra siddhi. And to know how to analyze what sort of counsel should you give. That is mantranam. Mantranam, that like how the ministers advise the king. That is mantranam. That is mantra. So here in Rudra, when we are calling Parameshwara as Namo Mantrine, we include all these meanings in him. And one last meaning for the word mantra is Gupta Bhashanam. And what is told in Rahasyam? Upanishads are told in Rahasyam. Therefore, he who is expressed in Upanishads, Namo Mantrine, he is Upanishad Swarupaya Ityartha. Mantrine means Upanishad Swarupa. Parameshwara is Upanishad. So Namo Mantrine. And then Vanijaya, fantastic word, I have a fantastic line. Vanijaya Namaha. Vanijam Pataye Namaha Ityartha. He is the chief businessman. Vanijaya Namaha. Okay, let me read that. Why is Parameshwara compared to a Vanik? Is the important question. Why is he compared with a businessman? Because of the organizational skills. You see how people, businessmen, they keep everything organized. Everything should be easily accessible. So he who keeps this entire prapancha well organized, he is called as Vanijaya. He is just like a Vanik. Therefore, he is Vanijaya. Vanijaya Namaha. This is one meaning. Another is Vani, Vanyam Jataha Vanijaha. Vani, Vani is Vak. Okay, Vani, Vak, Vachakadi Swarupa, Tasyam Jataha. He who is addressed with all the speech is also called as Vanija. We heard the same meaning with the word Rohita as well, here again in Vanijaya. This is more explicit than Rohitaya. Ro is a little difficult word to understand, whereas Vanijaya, Vani means speech. He who is addressed by all speech is called as Vanija. Therefore, Namo Mantrine Vanijaya Kakshanam Pataye Namaha. Kaksha. The word Kaksha refers to Giri, Guha, Nada, Nadi, Gulma, all these kind of things. Different places put together are called as Kaksha. Okay. Units. He is the Adhipati of all those small places, small units where various creatures live, not only human beings, but also various other creatures live. That is called as the Kaksha, and he is Kakshanam Pataye Namaha. Gahanaha Deshaha, the deep places, and Bhasha Gahana, Dharma Dharmadi Gahanascha, all types of depth. Kaksha means depth. So he is the Adhipati of depth. Kakshanam Pataye Namaha. And then we move on to the 11th. So we have three more: 11th, 12th, and 13th. Don't worry, I'm not going to rush. Okay. Do not worry. I'm the last person who will rush things. Okay. I'm also keeping an eye on the clock. Okay. And when you are in somebody's place, you're always on borrowed time. That's a fantastic reminder for life, isn't it? That's what I've learned in the past 20 days. You're on borrowed time. You're on somebody's watch. You're on somebody's clock. You're always on borrowed time. Just like how life is. Tavajjivishyamo yavadishishyasi tvam. Nachiketa says this in Kathopanishad. We will live as long as you wish. You allow us to live. Okay. First it is live and then leave. Okay. For me, the time has come to leave. No, because it's already 90 minutes. So we will continue with the remaining mantras and the next Anuvaka as well. So before we begin the next Anuvaka, we will again have. So, if you have any questions, we will take those questions at the end of one Anuvaka. So, we'll get the complete idea of one Anuvaka. Then it is better to get into it rather than getting directly into that. So, after we finish in the next week, when we finish this first Anuvaka, sorry, second Anuvaka, we will briefly take some 10 to 15 minutes time dedicated for question answers, and then we move on to the next Namassahamanaya Meadowship. Okay, we will get on to that one. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Namaste. And this will be the end of 10 a.m. classes. And from next week onwards, we are back to 6 p.m. 6 p.m. classes. Okay. Pradosha Kala is the most favorite time for Rudra, isn't it? Interpretation के लिए क्या है? My guru used to say that, that there was a great scholar, and let me tell you this joke. There used to be a scholar. He was well versed in all Vedanta, Dvaita Vedantam, Advaita Vedantam, Vishishtadvaita Vedantam. And one day, it was my teacher who narrated the story. My teacher's previous generation. So my teacher went to him and asked that, how come you are found on the Advaita Paksha today? He said, they gave more Dakshina to me. That's why I'm talking on Advaita Paksha today. Tomorrow in Parakala Matham, today in Shankara Matham. In Shankara Matha, you speak on Advaita. In Parakala Matham, you speak on Vishishta Advaita. Whoever gives more Dakshina, you speak on that Vedanta. Because Vedanta did not remain Vedanta long back. Vedanta stopped remaining Vedanta long back. It had all turned into Vadanta. So it's only about Vada, no? That's what that Pandita used to say. It's only about Vada. One line either, it is Advaita. One line there, it is Vishishta Advaita. That's all. To make fun of how lightly people used to view all these things and all. Okay, anyway, so if it is in the evening, I will call it as a Pradosha Kalam. If it is in the morning, I'll say that in a Pradah Kalam. So something like that. So you have to be wary of these kind of antics and tactics, all these magic tricks that scholars pull. We should call them out. And it's very nice. It's very cute of those scholars. I'm including myself as well. We use these tricks at times. Okay, not to worry. But we will meet again next week. Thank you. Thank you very much. Namaste.